get her all straightened out.
Hey, I didn't get a phone call. Didn't you process my application?
What application?
Assistant zoning administrator.
No.
You didn't get mine?
Did you email it to me?
Yeah.
That one I didn't find until, somebody did. Somebody, well, actually it was Mark. And I don't go in there very often. I emailed her and said, oops, too late, and it's not where it was supposed to go, because they don't follow directions very well.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get a phone call about it?
I don't get a phone call.
No.
I was looking forward to going over to the county.
Benefits. Yeah.
I didn't see her name in there. Your secretary must have not submitted
I
it.
sent it in when you girls must have pulled it.
Grade and then 4 more foot of concrete down there.
You guys ready?
Hey, you guys, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
Call this meeting with Share County Board of Adjustments to order. This meeting will begin with a public hearing. Anyone other than the applicant or representative wishing to speak must register and submit the registration slip to myself or the secretary. Following the public meeting, the board will conduct its monthly meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave. The applicant and the town board will be contacted about tonight's decision. Any other person wishing to receive a copy of any decision can sign the sheet at the front of the room. Those wishing immediate knowledge of the outcome of these proceedings may call the county zoning office tomorrow morning. The procedure we will follow for hearing each application is, after the application is read, the applicant, their agent, or representative will have a maximum of 10 minutes to present their application, followed by any questions or comments from the board. Then all correspondence will be read. Then others in favor will have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. Anyone objecting will then have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. I will then ask for staff comments. Finally, the applicant will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes for rebuttal if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak should use the microphone at the front of the room, state their name, and direct their comments to the board. If you are testifying as a nearby landowner, please tell us where your property is located. Tonight's hearing will be videotaped, and the tapes will become part of the record. Comments that are based on rumors, hearsay, or secondhand information, as well as racial or other prejudicial remarks, will be ruled out of order. The board has looked at all the properties, and the record will reflect these observations. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this board has 30 days from the filing of tonight's decision to make an appeals. Such appeals shall be heard by the Waushara County Circuit Court. Information is available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 30-day period. Now introduce the rest of the board. To my left are Fred Gellerup, Larry Tim, George Wilson. My name is Roger Wagner. Terry Dopp-Paukstad, zoning administrator, is to my right. First variance to be heard tonight, Linda Albert, Waukesha, Wisconsin, made an application for variance in accordance with section 58-542, paragraph C, paragraph 2, and 58-823, paragraph C, paragraph 2 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to construct a 28 by 34 one and a half singles family dwelling, existing dwelling to be raised, coming to within 7 feet of the northerly and southerly lot lines, 15-foot setback required on an existing non-conforming lot, non-conforming due to lot width and square footage in the RS-20 single-family residential zone within the shoreland area. Location an approximate 44-foot by 165-foot parcel of land known as the north one half of Lot 9 of Assessor's Plat Number 1, being parts of government lots 5 and 6, Section 2, Town of Mount Morris, Big Hills Lake, and 4774 Whitetail Trail. Would the applicant come forward, please? State your name for the record, please.
On? Oh.
Could be.
Yeah.
Linda Albert.
Okay.
And this is my husband Chuck.
Okay. Linda, anything further to add at this time?
It just said, and then we're supposed to have like a short presentation or whatever, so we kind of formed something up. My parents built the existing structure in 1957, and Big Hills Lake has been our weekend and vacation getaway since then, with many great memories. We've thought carefully to decide to either remodel the present building or start new. And we've decided to build new exactly where the existing building is, making it a bit larger, 28 by 34 feet, as a two-story with a cathedral ceiling in the living area. And after much research, both Chuck and I chose Design Homes for our builder, and we've taken many factors into consideration, including the size limitation of the lot, and have checked with several of the other owners in the area, and they are not opposed to what we have proposed to build. We are planning the home to be our retirement home and look forward to many more years on Big Hills Lake. So, and then also I think you have a couple copies of
We
two
have.
letters from a couple of the neighbors.
I do.
Okay.
Just a few general questions then for the record. Has there been a recent survey out there?
Yes, we did have a survey done. That was October.
believe so. And you should have a copy of that also.
Okay. October of this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're sure of all the lot lines and, okay?
Yeah, we still have the markers there.
Okay. And you've talked to your neighbors about this because you've got letters back from them, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
The lot is about as flat as you can get, so stormwater isn't really gonna be a problem there, is it, to the lake? Or-
Shouldn't be, no.
What type of foundation will this be built on?
Be a solid concrete wall.
Okay.
Foundation 4 feet down,
Okay,
cross wall, 3-foot crawl space.
okay. About how far above the existing grade will the first floor be?
Approximately 3 feet.
So you will be bringing in some fill then,
Yeah, probably a little bit, right.
okay? And about what will the finished height of the home be?
I have that here.
From finished grade to roof line, peak, 25 feet.
Okay. Any other improvements planned at this time? Nothing towards the lake or?
No.
Okay. And all other setbacks will be met because you'll be averaging with the neighbors, is that correct? And the septic system, holding tanks, are they fairly new or?
It's the existing one. We had that checked. I can't remember now by who. We have a copy of that. Should be in the packet too.
I think
Okay.
it was rock.
Okay. So you'll be using the same septic tanks?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What hardships or unique property limitations, you've got an extremely narrow lot, was that two lots at one time? Or were, the homes look so identical?
Yeah, I know. They were built at the same time. Actually, my uncle and my aunt, they built theirs. And so they were both built at the same time. I don't exactly remember, well, I was only like 2 years old, so I don't know what happened with that, so.
Okay. Do you think maybe it was one lot at one time? It almost appeared that way,
Looks
didn't it?
that way, yeah.
Yeah, it
was
might
laid
have
out that
been,
way.
but I know that they basically purchased it at the same time. I think my parents found it first, and then they wanted to do the same thing, so they ended up,
Sure.
building, their own dwellings on the property. So
If an approval were granted, when are you starting construction?
It would be after the thaw in the spring, probably
Right.
like around end of April.
Any other committee questions?
I have a couple.
Sure.
You said no improvements were planned, but normally if you're gonna live here all the time, you want to think about a garage.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that at all?
Well, maybe at some later time, but not right now. It's not in the financial budget.
Do you think there'd be room for a garage there?
Yeah, we talked about that. It would have to be more towards the back there. So, yeah, we took that into consideration also.
And my other question is, are you aware that there's a bit of a discrepancy in the description of the property? Well, it says that it's the north half of Lot 9, and if you look at the diagram of how Lot 9 was originally laid out, it was like 110 feet wide on one side, and half of it, of course, would be a lot more than 44. So there's apparently a discrepancy in the description of the lot.
I don't know if there was some road easement not granted or something like that. And it was okayed on the neighbor's north lot or something to that effect. Because our lot doesn't go all the way to the road like I think the neighbor's does on the north. So,
Did you get a chance to check that out, Terry?
Yeah, no, it's what it says on the assessment records is the north half of Lot 9. I do notice on the survey that it shows the south line of the north half of Lot 9, and that's not the line that's surveyed in. So I'm thinking the surveyor checked it out with your deed and surveyed what's actually on the deed.
I'm not saying it's going to make a difference for this application, but it seems to me that somehow the description should be corrected somewhere along the line.
And I can talk to Jan about that because it's, just how it's listed for the
I think might be a good
property.
idea.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I guess you can have a seat.
Thank you.
Yep. Correspondence?
We have 2 letters signed by 3 neighbors. The first one we received on December 2nd, and it says, "To whom it may concern, I own the cottage at N4770 Whitetail Trail, which is to the south of Chuck and Linda Albert's existing cottage at N4774 Whitetail Trail in Wild Rose on Big Hills Lake. I am agreeable to their plans of updating the property with a new cottage. It will improve the aesthetics of the area and would also increase the value of the property and the properties surrounding the area." And that's signed sincerely, Shirley J. No of Oshkosh,
You spell the last name for me?
N-O-E.
Oh, that's easy enough.
And the second one was also received on December 2nd, and it says, "To whom it may concern. It is in the best interest of all property owners on Hills Lake that we continue to renew our buildings. The raising of old cottages and the construction of new vacation homes enhances all property values in the general vicinity of the new construction. We are hopeful that you will approve the construction of Chuck and Linda's new cottage." And that's signed by Tom and Sherry Vandenberg, Vandenberg, and Ken and Diane Hill. And it says they're the neighbors to the north, so.
Okay, no one registered to speak in favor or objecting. Staff comments?
For the record, the board has previously been furnished with a copy of the site plan and all the other pertinent data for this application. And they also visited the property and viewed the proposal and looked at it on site. They saw your flags out there and everything. So they were actually out on the property. This time I'd like to explain a little bit about variances. Variances ask for a relaxation of a dimensional standard in the code. You're asking for a relaxation on the side lot lines. And the decision to grant a variance must be backed by substantive reasons. These include an unnecessary hardship as being caused by the code requirement. There are unique limitations on the property that prevent the landowner from meeting the required dimensional standards. And Finally, if the variance is granted, that no harm will be done to the public interest or the zoning code. And it's the applicant's responsibility to present their case and provide the burden of proof as to why the variance should be granted. The personal situation of the applicant, such as financial hardship or nearby violations, cannot be considered as valid reasons to grant a variance. Then the board did note that the holding tanks were installed in 1987 and have been evaluated recently and found to be in good condition. As a matter of fact, there's 2 there instead of just 1. And the proposed home will meet the lake and road setbacks. There's not a problem with that. And it will go only slightly closer to the side lot lines than the existing home. The proposed location was staked, and the lot is located on a private dead-end road with little traffic. And that's it.
Okay, that closes the public hearing for the Board of Adjustments. Chuck and Linda are welcome to come in to us. We'll adjourn to the room right behind us where we will vote on your application. Planning and Zoning will meet here next for their public hearing.
I will call this meeting of the Waushara County Planning and Zoning Committee to order. The meeting will be conducted in the same manner as the applications heard by the Board of Adjustments. Anyone other than the applicant or the representative wishing to speak at this hearing must have registered. Anyone who has not should do so immediately and submit the registration slip to myself or the secretary. The committee has looked at all the properties and recorded would reflect these observations. Following the public hearing, the committee will conduct a meeting at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave. Any person affected by the administrative decision of this committee has 10 days from the filing of tonight's decision to file an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Waushara County Board of Adjustments. Information and applications are available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration date of the 10-day period. I will now introduce the committee. To my far left, Joe Piaski, Larry Crawford, Mike Likeness, Bob Wadle. To my right, Terry Dopp Hockstead, zoning administrator, and my name is Mark Kirshner. First application that we will hear tonight, John Jr. and Margaret Drake, Wautoma, Wisconsin, have made application for conditional use in accordance with sections 58-236, paragraph 19, and 58-454, paragraph 11 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to establish a dog kennel, maximum 10 adult dogs with no commercial boarding, grooming or training, utilizing in existing buildings with runs in the AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an approximately 1.81 acre parcel of land known as Lot 2 of Certified Survey Map number 4179, being part of the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter and part of the southwest quarter of the northwest quarter of Section 18, Town 18 North, Range 11 East, Town of Marion, fire number N1557, State Road 73. Is the applicant present? Would you come forward, please? Do you have anything that you want to tell the committee or add to anything?
You bet. I've talked to Jerry over in Marion Township. I don't know what his official title is, but I've talked to him and explained everything to him, and he said that I have no problems with that. I talked to Chris, I believe his name is, and his assistant, and explained everything that we're doing, and he said that as far as he was concerned, that we were within everything that he has to, what am I trying to say? Everything that he would require, we've already taken care of, so, all right. And if I can make a correction there, if I would, please. It's Dake, there's no R there.
Oh, I probably, yeah,
That's all right. It's
all
just,
right. Anything else?
anything?
Well, we didn't start out to have 9 dogs. I mean, it's not something that was our goal, but our Beagle had puppies, and we thought everybody loves Beagle puppies, and everyone was saying, we want one, and we even gave 3 of them away, and 1 came back, and yeah, so it just happened, and we are financially responsible. They go to the vet. If you've seen them, some of them have a weight problem. We feed them so good. They're just loved so much, their family. They're in the house right now because of wind chill factors. Just, yeah.
And our dogs are treated better than a lot of people's kids are.
They don't talk back those much, do they?
Well, sometimes. Sometimes they're sassy puppies, but they're family. We love them, so.
All right, the committee has a few questions here. Committee questions?
Yeah, have you contacted the county humane officer?
Chris Hintz.
No, that would be Tim Gansel.
Tim
I
Gansel,
believe.
actually.
There's,
Across the-
no, he'd be at the sheriff's department. There'll be just one more person that will probably talk to you. Okay.
Realize that I had to, or I would.
Oh, that's fine.
Are you aware of the county kennel requirements, and will they be followed?
The county kennel requirements as far as what?
What?
You have to, they have to have shelter, they have to have runs, they have to be fed, fresh water at least twice a day, and our dogs are watered far more than that, and they're fed twice a day.
Heated water dishes when they're outside, so
Yeah,
they
they-
don't ever have to lick ice.
And there are some permit requirements. You know, you need to get a kennel permit, and you will need to keep them licensed and keep all their
Right,
shots up
yeah,
and
that's
all
what-
that stuff, so.
Correct.
Okay.
The dogs you have right now, are their shots and
Yes.
license up to date?
They are.
Are these all your dogs, or do you take in other dogs
No.
for training or boarding?
All ours.
You have, do you ever breed dogs and then sell or give away puppies?
Nope. Well, that was the original plan with Sammy, because I wanted a couple of dogs. She doesn't, I've never seen a beagle that doesn't hunt rabbits, but Mama doesn't hunt rabbits, so.
She's a teddy bear. She's not a
Yeah.
rabbit hunter.
So, yes, instead of going through the brambles, through the briars, she goes around them. All
But
right, well,
But even when the puppies were young and people said they wanted them, we didn't sell them. The people that took them, we gave them to them because we thought they had good homes on
there was a gentleman in
Spring Lake.
Spring Lake. He had just lost his dog. It was an elderly fellow brought his granddaughter over, and he says, Larry Bonnick tells me that you've got puppies for sale, beagles for sale. I said, well, I don't have any for sale. I said, what are you going to do with them? And he says, well, what do you mean, what are you going to do with them? What am I going to do with them? I said, what are you going to do? What's his life going to be like? And the fellow looked a little confused, and his granddaughter says, well, I think you're asking, well, he's going to sleep with him, if that's what you mean. I said, good enough for me. He's going to be taken care of.
They make such good teddy bears.
Will the kennels be 300 feet from any home other than your own?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How will the animal waste be disposed of?
I have 5 acres, and I take it out back and dump it over the rocks.
What would the maximum number of dogs, adult dogs, be?
I put 10 on there, but
We have 9, and we really don't plan on getting any more. That was just an in case something happened.
and I don't see that happening. But I don't remember. I think I told you 10, and yeah, it won't happen.
Sammy's not going to have any more puppies.
No.
Okay.
Where's your well located now?
The other side of the house, 180 feet down.
That's all I have, all the questions.
Any other committee questions? Joe or Mike or Bob? Okay.
I didn't know that I would learn so much about wells before we moved to the country. Right.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Correspondence, Terry?
We didn't have any correspondence, but Chris Hintz did call and verified that he had been out to Dake's property, and he did not see any problem with this application.
Okay. Anyone registered in favor or opposition?
Nope, that's all we got.
Staff comments.
For the record, the committee has previously been furnished with a copy of the site plan and all the other data submitted for this and the other application that they're going to be considering tonight. And at this time, I'd like to explain a little bit about conditional use permits. All of the zones in Waushara County have uses that are permitted outright, and then there are uses that may be permitted provided certain conditions are met, and that's where the conditional use permit comes in. So they need to fit in with the surrounding property as long as it doesn't harm it and they meet these certain conditions. So in some areas they're called special exception permits. So just so you understand what kind of a permit you're applying for. And it's your responsibility to provide the information that shows this use is still in keeping with all the surrounding area in that zone and the neighbors. And that the conditions placed on it will ensure that it'll be a good neighbor. When the committee visited the property, they specifically noted that there are no nearby homes and the location is rather isolated. So that's it.
That's it. Okay. Anything else that the applicant would like to add? Okay. Thank you.
Can you
Okay.
come up to the microphone?
You want to come up here and state that?
Otherwise, we won't be able to hear it.
I did go to two of my neighbors around the very closest one. What's Larry's last name? I don't know, the Larry to the
Larry,
north of me
yeah.
there, and Al,
Al Christian and Larry Lemmert.
not Christian, Al, yeah, I'm sorry, Albert. Anyway, Larry told me he had no problems with it, that he didn't even know that I had dogs, so. What do you mean? You can't hear them baying once in a while?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, that concludes the first application. Second application we'll be hearing tonight. Robert Lehman, Wautoma, Wisconsin. Greg and Gloria Klemp, landowners, has made an application for a conditional use in accordance with Section 58-454, Paragraph 12 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to relocate an existing auto repair business approved under conditional use number 5-08 and expand to include a farm equipment repair utilizing an existing 48 by 88 pole building in an AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an approximate 2.2 acre parcel of land known as Lot 1 of Certified Survey Map number 5996, being part of the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter, Section 21, Town 18 North, Range 11 East, Town of Marion, fire number N1079, 21st Court. Is the applicant present? Would you come forward, please? You want to state your, both of you want to state your names for the record, please?
Robert Lehman.
Sheila Lehman.
Okay. Is there anything else you can add, Robert, or anything you can kind of tell us, or anything you want to tell the committee before we have a few questions for you?
I got signatures from the neighbors.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. That's it? Okay. The committee's going to have a few questions to ask you. Committee questions?
Yes. Mr. Lehman, will there be any employees outside the immediate family? Okay. This is basically a relocation and expansion of your existing business in the town of Dakota, that is correct? Okay. Do you plan on adding farm machinery to repair to this business?
Just some, not, I mean, if it comes in, it comes in. If it don't, it don't. I mean, I just wanted to add that in there.
What sort of traffic will there be, and what sort of parking do you think you'll need?
I don't really have too much traffic now where I am now. So, I mean, it's just when parts get dropped off, and it's usually once or twice a week. it, and I usually run for my parts anyways, so.
Are you aware of the state building codes and other state requirements, and will they be met?
Yep, that's what I'm doing this first, and then I got all the stuff to take care of all that too.
There is running water and plumbing fixtures in the building now, and you plan on using those in the existing septic system? Are there any floor drains planned in the building, and if so, how are the wastes going to be disposed of? No floor drains, okay. Is there any advertising signs planned?
I thought about just taking like the size I have at my house, eventually put over there.
Are there any other additions or buildings planned? Exactly what kind of repair work do you do there? Okay. Do you do any air conditioning work? How about body work or painting? Okay. Any welding? Are there any other kind of repairs that you plan on offering? Okay. How do you dispose of the waste oils?
Put it in 55-gallon drums, and I actually have a buddy that takes it out of Princeton and burns it in his shop for waste oil. I'm looking into getting a waste oil burner to heat that, so.
Do you have any waste tires?
I have,
It was Auburndale Recycling, but now they changed to Liberty Recycling, and they come pick them up for us.
Any outside storage parts, supplies, or anything else?
No, that's what I want to expand, 'cause I have no room for that. A bigger area has an extra storage area inside there for those.
Where will the vehicles waiting to be serviced be stored?
Most of them will actually be inside.
Any salvage or scrapping of the vehicles? No. Okay. Will there be any used car or farm machinery sales? Okay. Mr. Lehman, what assurances can you provide the committee with this new location that it will not become cluttered like and require repeated follow-up from the zoning office to prompt you to keep it neat and orderly like that has been necessary in the town of Dakota?
Like I said, I ran out of room for working on stuff, so then I had to work outside and stuff like that, so I mean.
If this works, do you plan to completely close your business there in the town of Dakota?
Yeah.
Has there been a recent survey that you're aware of? Do you know where the lot lines are? Okay.
Out by the road, by the driveway, there's an orange flag. He showed me, and then up by the high hole that's sitting there, whatever that is, excavator, there was.
That's all? Okay. Any other questions, Joe or Larry? Bob? Okay, thank you. Correspondence, Terry.
We have no correspondence, but I will read the petition that was submitted by Mr. Lehman tonight. To Washera County Zoning, Robert Lehman has spoke with me in regards to his proposed business placement at N1079 21st Court, Neshkoro. I will sign my name below in support of his plans. And it's signed by Gregory Klemp Sr., Gloria Klemp, Dave Chase, Jennifer Chase, and Gerald Waleko. Just say C. Yep, works for me.
Okay, anyone registered in favor or opposition?
Nope, no one else registered.
Staff comments?
I'm not going to repeat myself about the conditional use application because it's exactly the same, and provided there's conditions on it that keep it in compliance and in what do I want to say, harmony with the neighborhood. So the committee did go out and visit the present operation, and they did note that there is some things that aren't in compliance with your original approval. And then they went and visited the location in the town of Marion and noted that the building appears larger and the property has more room inside the building and then outside area for parking of vehicles if that's needed. And in addition, if fencing is provided and properly located to screen the vehicles waiting to be serviced, the property could maintain a neat appearance. If an approval is considered, The committee discussed reviewing both conditional use permits in 1 year, so then they could rescind the one that you're not using anymore. So, or alter them, or do something like that. So that was one thing that was discussed, because you don't want to leave two going all the time. So just so you're aware of that too, that was something that was discussed. That's it.
Is there anything else the applicant would like to state or anything?
I'm gonna put up a fence, actually, but I didn't wanna,
Okay.
waste the time. Not all the people would rather know all stuff that I did find out. Put up a fence anyways.
Okay. No, that's,
There is one shown on your site plan. That's
was?
where you mean, right?
Yeah, right in the front there where the
Yeah,
back road is.
along the town road,
Yeah.
and then coming back a little bit on the private
Yes.
road.
okay, thank you, Bob. Okay. That concludes